to my channel. Today we are in Lisbon, North Dakota at the farm of my sister Christy Freeberg. So excited to have you here.
So Yay!
So awesome. It's going to be so fun. So Christy has something really awesome she's going to make for us today. Christy, what are you going to make?
Okay, so this is called an Aebleskiver, and they are Danish, like pancake balls or puff balls that you make in a cast iron skillet. That really works the best. And so we have one that is oiled and ready to go. So the first thing we are going to do is we will assemble our ingredients. And it's very simple. It's like a pancake or crossed with a donut.
Okay.
So it's super easy. We came across these. These aren't traditionally a Norwegian type treat, which you can eat for breakfast or a snack or whatever. But when we went to the Young House Festival in Moorhead, my kids came with, and of course, you know, they're kind of scared of different things that they want to try, and this is one of the items that they loved. So they're not Norwegian, but they are Danish. So it's still Scandinavian. It's still
Nordic,
okay.
right?
It's
Nordic.
Nordic.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's super easy, and it's everything that you would probably normally have in your kitchen. So when we start out, you're going to measure out 2 1/4 cup flour. And you can just use an all-purpose flour. Doesn't have to be anything special. The next thing you're going to do is add in 1/4 teaspoon salt. And we just want to use your regular iodized salt is fine. It doesn't have to be any coarse sea salt or coarse or anything like that.
Sounds good.
So we'll put that in there. The next thing we have is a 1/2 teaspoon baking soda.
Okay.
So we'll do that, and we'll add it right in. I'm going to keep it level. Then we'll move on to the sugar. And like I said, these are not super sweet pancake balls, so we're only going to use a tablespoon because after they are cooked, we will dress them up with all sorts of different things.
Right.
So like powdered sugar, cinnamon sugar, and my favorite is probably like a strawberry jam. Traditionally, you're going to want to use a lingonberry jam.
Right.
They don't have that in Lisbon, but that's okay. Strawberry jam is really good. You could also dip them in maple syrup, choke cherry syrup, anything like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's great because essentially it is a pancake ball.
Great.
So what we'll do is we have all our dry ingredients in the mixer, and I'm just going to turn this on low. I love my KitchenAid mixer.
They are the best.
And so we'll just let that do it. And we do it slow so it doesn't poof all over the place. Now while this is mixed up, what we're going to do is we would slowly add 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk. Now this is buttermilk. If you don't have that, you can substitute it by adding a little bit of lemon juice to regular milk, or you can add white vinegar and mix it up, and it will turn it into a type of buttermilk. So that is measured out and ready. Then we're also going to have 1/4 cup melted butter. And I like to use butter instead of margarine. It just has a richer flavor, and I just think that just makes it better. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
Pure vanilla, doesn't matter what brand, as long as it's going to be a pure vanilla.
Right.
It just has better flavor.
Excellent.
So
Do you want to walk over here now?
sure. Okay. So what I'm going to do is it needs to separate the eggs. And there's a couple different ways that you can do it. And I'm going to do it the way that my mom taught me. And that is just cracking and then using the shells to separate
Right.
the yolk. So I'll put the yolks in here. We'll do the egg whites because we do need to beat them. And we beat them till they have a nice fluffy peak. And they need to be stiff peaks.
So Christy, can you tell me the difference between the different egg colors?
Sure. Now these are all eggs that we, from chickens that we raise on our farm. My kids have them for 4-H projects and FFA.
Okay.
There's really no difference. And I think a lot of people get confused with that because they traditionally in stores, unless you buy them at farmers markets, are going to see your traditional white egg. And that's because these are really large farms. They're made for mass production of eggs.
Right.
At our place, we have a whopping 15 chickens. And so it's very easy. My kids use them for selling eggs for making extra money, and it's for Abby and like I said, for Abby and Cody's 4-H and FFA project.
Great.
So if you look at this egg, this is from an Orpington chicken, and they are really good layers. They lay probably 320 eggs a year. So you're gonna get one a day.
Wow.
So what we're gonna do is we're just going to crack it like this, carefully. And I should be doing it over the other bowl, but that's all right. I'll transfer it. And we just toss it carefully back and forth. And if you ever watch on some of the shows, they are,
And I'll put this right.
Yeah, I'll just bring it
there
over.
we go with this trade places.
a lot of times they'll just use their hands, and that works too.
There you go.
So then I'll put that egg in there. Now, if you look at this egg, this is from an Americana chicken. They're really cool birds, very docile. They also have a very neat, fluffy neck. But if you crack into it, you're gonna look, there is virtually no difference.
No difference at all.
Nope. So we're
Awesome.
just gonna toss it back and forth like that. And that looks pretty good.
Good.
And this is from a Polish chicken. They're really neat. They're fun birds, and they have this really cool, funky headdress like thing on their head.
Awesome.
They're fun. I like my chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they're super tame because
They are pretty. I've
we're
seen
in
them.
there every single day. So it's kind of fun to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is the difference. So if you can see, there really is no difference between the three colors of eggs.
So nobody has to be afraid of them.
Nobody has to be afraid of them. I know that's, you see a brown egg or a green egg and go, oh, I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So anyhow, here are eggs. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to beat the yolks slightly. And we're going to get that together. Now if I can just trade spots with you, Lori.
Yes, you can.
I'm going to come over here and we're going to add in our wet ingredients. So like I said before, we have our flour and our salt, baking soda, and sugar all measured in here already. So now we'll add the 1 3/4 cup buttermilk, and I keep touching that stuff because I'm used to doing it. Okay, we'll add the 1/4 cup melted butter, and that is cool, which you want to do slightly because if you add hot butter and you add your egg yolks in, it's going to basically scramble your eggs.
Yes.
Okay? So we will let that mix. And while that is mixing, we're going to take the eggs, the egg yolks, or the egg whites, I'm sorry. We're going to whip them so they get into stiff peaks.
Okay, so we've got the stiff peaks ready?
Yeah, they
Okay.
are ready. And you can see how fluffy the egg whites have gotten. This is from 3 eggs. And what this is going to do is we're going to carefully add them into our batter. And I'm not going to stir hard because if I do, it's going to deflate the egg whites. And you're not going to get as light and airy of a pancake ball or Aebleskiver. And these little things would be so good, like if you were having like a brunch or something with your family on Easter, or just any morning if you have a little time, because they do take, you know, a little bit of time to prepare. It's not so much the mixing, it's when we start cooking them. And
Okay, and we're back. And Christy, can you explain what we've been doing here?
sure. So I have my cast iron Aebleskiver pan over medium heat. And before we start putting in the batter, I will put a little pat of butter inside each well. And that gives it flavor, and it also keeps the batter from sticking while it's cooking. So we will melt that down, and it looks like it's just about ready. And I always like to use this. It's just a cookie scoop. It's the smallest one. So it's about a tablespoon. It's a little bit easier. It's like the perfect size
Oh, yes.
to put the batter in each well. You could, if you don't have one of these, you can use a teaspoon. This just, I really like these. You can get them in any kind of home store, cooking store, and it's so simple. And it's a lot less messy, it's easier. I'll put that in there. Okay.
Looking good.
Yeah.
So, how long do you have to let this sit in there? When's the turning time? How can you tell what the turning time is?
Well, it's kind of like any other pancake that you would make traditionally in a skillet. You're going to want to wait till you see little air bubbles, and it's kind of more dry around the edges.
Right.
So we're just going to let this sit and cook in the pan, and we'll watch. I like to use a thin wooden skewer like this, and it makes it really easy to get in and flip it. So it doesn't have to be any kind of fancy tool, but ones that you would use for kebabs or
Right.
anything.
Oh yeah, that's great. So why do they call them Aebeleskivers?
You know, I really didn't know the definition of it until I looked it up, and it actually means like an apple pancake type thing.
Okay.
So the Abel means apple.
Okay.
So what you can do is you could take a can of pie filling,
Okay.
and while you're cooking them in the skillet here, you could put a little dollop of the apple in there.
Okay.
And of course, this is just the traditional, and I'll show you how we're going to dress them up and different ways you can eat it. But that's what it originally means.
Okay,
It
that's
translates
something.
into is like an apple ball
Little
pancake.
apple pancake
Yeah.
ball, basically. Pancake ball.
All right, so let's watch this. Now this is still, it is not
A little bit
quite
soft
ready.
still. Yeah.
I'm gonna check the burner and make sure that we have it up on the right.
I guess that's the
heat.
only thing is when you have a pan like this, you have to really make sure that heat is right. You know, maybe the first batch you do may not turn out perfectly, but then when you get that heat right, it's good. So you've never done with an electric pan before, right?
No.
I know they make electric pans as well.
They do, you can do that, and then I also read that you can use a muffin tin.
Oh, right.
So I would think if you
Yeah.
used a mini muffin tin, that would
Yeah.
also work.
Oh, yeah.
I know they do make Teflon ones, but this is your traditional cast iron.
Now, what do you think about if somebody they didn't have a gas stove? Like, I don't have a gas stove. I have an electric stove.
It should work. Like I said, I'm used to this, but it's just like any other heavy pan. You want to be careful when you put it on top of your ceramic top or,
Right,
or
okay.
that, because it can crack your top.
Yeah,
So
I
you
like
just
that.
want to be careful.
Okay. Ooh, they're looking better now.
Yeah, they're definitely coming up to heat. I'm gonna just flip this over.
Well, that skewer works great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Let's flip it over. Of course, your center one is always going to be probably the darkest.
Right, 'cause
That's where
it's
your
right in the
heat
middle.
is more concentrated.
Right.
These can
Right.
go a little bit longer.
Looking good.
But I just love these things. I think they're super cute. They're fun. You could make them ahead of time if you were having a brunch.
Yeah.
Kids really love them because, of course, you can dress them up any way you like. Oops, I think I did that one a little too early, but that's all right.
That's okay. Oh, that looks good. That's perfect.
That was a perfect one. So we'll let that
Yes.
cook. And I love using real butter. Some people like margarine, and that's fine too, but
Yeah.
butter just gives it more of a rich flavor. So I
Right.
like that.
Right.
Now we just wait and be patient.
Well, they're probably almost ready to come, so.
I'm so glad you're here.
I know, I'm so glad
Thanks
to
for
be
letting me be on
here.
your show.
Well, absolutely.
Your other ones have been really good with the lefse and
Well, I thought it would be kind of cool to have you do something, and since this is your thing, you're an expert at it, and I am
how do you
not.
call that?
Well, I'd say you do a pretty good job with it.
Okay, I think
Kinda
they're
fun.
good enough to take
Okay.
off.
Great.
So we'll just use our skewer to remove.
Ooh, those look so good.
Put them on here.
All right.
Turn off our heat. And if we come over here, like I said, traditionally you're going to want to use a lingonberry jam, but we didn't have any in town, so you can really substitute anything you want. There's cinnamon sugar, it tastes great on them, powdered sugar, and then this is strawberry jelly is what I have today.
Yeah.
But like another good one is choke cherry.
Oh, I love choke cherry.
It's so yummy.
A lot of people don't know what choke cherry is,
No.
but it is so good.
No, it's great.
They don't make it in Alabama.
No, they don't. I don't know if they can grow down there.
I don't think they can, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyhow,
Anyway.
what I like to do is I will take the powdered sugar and I kind of go like that, and then I'll just have a little dollop of the jam.
Jam.
And you know what? We can just eat with our fingers.
Yeah, well, heck yeah.
And we can just
And
dip it in there, and you like to do it with the cinnamon
I
sugar.
like cinnamon sugar, actually. So I'm gonna let me borrow you for a sec, and just put a little bit of that on there. And
A little hot.
oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they taste like donuts. Because I don't like pancakes. Sorry, but I like donuts. Don't you?
I like pancakes.
Oh, you like pancakes? I'm
I
sorry.
do.
I don't like pancakes. but I like these. These are good. Yum. Well, Christy, these turned out great, and thank you so much for making these and being on the show and everything. And I'm so glad I got to be here with you.
I'm glad that
Yay!
you were too.
Got to
nice
meet
seeing
with my
you. I don't
sister.
see
I
you
never
enough.
see her, so it's so nice to see her. Well, if you would like the recipe, I will have it on my blog. Just go to nordicknowhow.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Skull.
Skål.